Hello and welcome to the Rangers Journal. My name is Kai Watson and welcome to another episode of 5 Players Rangers Could Sign. This week again we're going to focus on free transfers because obviously depending on Rangers reach Champions League the budget could be very different, but at the start of the summer the budget's potentially going to be a bit low before we get any players sold, so I think it's worth looking into free transfers that Rangers could bring in. There's also a brilliant response in the last video, so I've looked at 5 other players that I think can make an impact coming in free transfers, so let's get started. The player we're going to look at is David Affengruber. 23-year-old Austrian centre-back, he's 6'3", currently plays for Sturm Graz. You can see his stats on the screen, so he's tall, strong, reads the game very well. You can see that's highlighted by the 6.26 recoveries. Strong in the tackle, very good duel numbers, he's comfortable on the ball, but a more limited passer than the likes of John Souttar, so he's not going to play those passes that kind of break the lines. He's not going to be playing through balls. David Affengruber, but he is still very good on the ball well. It's just he's not going to be that defender that kind of drives forward and plays those cutting passes. But at 23 years old, he's had plenty of experience in Austria. Very solid centre back. He's tall, decent in the air, good on the ground. I think for a free transfer, he's a very good option. Next player we're going to look at is Ibrahim Cissoko. 26 years old, Malian, 6'4", CDM, currently plays for Strasbourg. So he's a tall, powerful number 6, exactly the type of player we need in front of the defence. Keeps it simple, but he does have a good passing range. He's capable of those long passes, as you can see by the numbers. The passing numbers are very good, but he does prefer to keep it simple at times. He's a strong ball carrier, as much as I say he keeps it simple. While he's playing his passes, he does like to kind of drive forward with the ball, drive out past the midfield, and drive into the attack. Brilliant in the tackle and reads the game very well. He's also a former target for Newcastle and West Ham. So, admittedly, this was when he was a bit younger. I think he was 22 when he was targeted by Newcastle, but at that time they were talking around 15 million to try and get Ibrahim Cissoko in. He's not kind of forward in quality. He's maybe not progressed the way they thought he would when he was 22, but plenty of League One experience, international experience. A very strong player to play in front of the defence. Like he's 6'4", solid, good defensively, good on the ball, a good passer. I just think he'd be an excellent option to come in, type of player that would let someone like Mohamed Diamandi or whoever playing next to him play that bit more of an attacking role and do the creative things, whereas he'll just be that destroyer that's good enough on the ball would be able to contribute, but for the most part he will protect defence, and that's something we've been massively missing. Next player we're going to look at is Danny De Wit, 26-year-old again, Dutch central midfielder, plays for AZ Alkmaar currently. So he's a very good attacking option from deep, brilliant finisher. You can see he's got 10 goals, but the XG is only 5.72. Again, he's good in duels tackles. He's not a creative player as much as he's good in the duels, and the tackle numbers are good. He's not a defensive midfielder. I wouldn't have him as the options at number 6, definitely not as a sole 6. Probably wouldn't have him as a deeper line midfielder with 2 as well. I think he'd be more suited to a 3 or kind of playing further forward. He's very Scott Arfield, like he does arrive in the box very well. Most of his goals have came from inside the box, and that kind of runs arrive late. And like I say, he's got 10 goals from 5.72 XG. The type of player that Rangers have missed this season, they don't have many players that crash the box and many midfielders that are getting goals this season. So I think that's the type of profile that we could really use. Again, he's 26, same age as Sissoko, so he's that little bit older, but he comes with a lot of experience, having played in the Eredivisie for years, playing at a higher level than he would be playing against if he came to Scotland. So I think, especially in a free transfer, again, he's a good option. Wages might be a bit higher, but you're saving on that transfer fee. And he's that profile, like I said, that Scott Arfield type midfielder that crashes the box, which again is something that Rangers have been missing this season. Moving forward, the next player is Nico Melamed, 23 years old, Spaniard, 5'7", and he plays as a central attacking midfielder, currently at Espanyol, playing in the Segunda Liga. So he's a creative centre attacking mid, creates over 2 chances per 90, brilliant ball carries, fouled almost 3 times per game, so it shows you what the defences have to do to kind of stop him. They just foul him because of how technically gifted he is, how good he is at carrying the ball, how good he is at creating space for himself. Massive La Liga experience and over 100 appearances for Espanyol at 23. Such a creative player. He's got so much quality. He's that kind of Todd Cantwell type, but I feel like Melamed is more capable of grabbing a game by the scruff of its neck and dragging his team forward and creating something. Like I say, at 23, still pretty young for a football, and he's got so much experience in La Liga, one of the best leagues in the world. the fact that he's available for free. I don't know what the situation is at Espanyol, but he's not renewed his deal yet, so will definitely be available on a free. And I think he'd just be a brilliant option. You're saving the transfer fee because you're looking at Espanyol if they come up going to La Liga this season, you're going to be paying somewhere between 5 and 10 million for a player of that profile. So the fact that he's potentially going to be available for free, I think Rangers would really be amiss to not kind of explore that and look at bringing him in, especially if you're going to look at maybe trying to shift players on the likes of Kieran Dowell or Tom Lawrence, or if they don't fancy Yanis Hadji. I think at 23 years old, Nico Melamed's a brilliant option given the quality of player he is, the experience he's got, and what he can offer. Personally, I think I've saved the best till last. So the last player on the list, Sekou Koita, 24-year-old Malian striker. He's 5'7", currently plays for Red Bull Salzburg. He's quick, tries to break beyond the defence. He's a very good finisher. He almost has averages 1 goal per 90 this season. Carries the ball very well with over 60% dribble success. He's been in and out of the team because he had an abductor injury at the start of the season, which kept him out for quite a while. It's not anything that's recurred or anything they've seen any kind of knocked back on since, so I don't feel like it'd be an issue going forward. I know Rangers are going to sign players. A lot of the fans, the first thing they do is look at the injury history. So Coita doesn't have an extensive injury history, so that's a positive going forward. And I think looking at the games played and the kind of minutes he's got, he's a massive victim of that talent factor that is Red Bull Salzburg. It's nothing to do with the quality of the player. But you look at other players that's round about and the players that he's competing with, so the likes of Karim Kanate, Petr Vatkov, you've got Simic Sayre and Dorjalez as well. So there's such quality in that team. They obviously spend a lot of money in getting young talents in and still manage to sell them for massive profit. Petr Vatkov is someone that Rangers were rumoured to be looking at last year. Karim Kanate is one of the kind of hottest prospects of young strikers in Europe. You're obviously looking at the club that Erling Haaland came through as well. So many players that came through Salzburg, and Coita's just been a victim of the way they kind of bring players in, the way they spend their money to bring in and develop players, and obviously the injury at the start of the season didn't help. But when you look at just his pure numbers, he's a very good striker, type of striker that Rangers don't have. He's that bit smaller, maybe he's kind of similar build to Danilo, but where Danilo doesn't always look to break beyond, Coita always looks to use his pace to break beyond the defences. Again, averaging almost a goal per 90 in a league that's probably a similar quality to the Scottish Premiership. The fact that he's also on an expiring deal, I think Salzburg will be disappointed in that one. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to tie him down to a deal and maybe try and get something for him, but his contract's expiring next month, so this could be again a brilliant option to look at. You're obviously probably going to be paying a bit higher on their wages, but the saving in that transfer fee is huge when such a massive rebuild's needed this summer. And looking at striker options is what we're going to need, and I think Sekou Koita could really fill a gap that we're looking to plug. So that is it for another episode of Five Players Rangers could sign. Again, there's plenty of free agents out there. These ones were more towards the top of the list than the first ones I've done. I still think they could be realistic again. They'll be looking for a decent bit in wages. I don't think any of them are out with the realms of possibility. So please leave feedback on if there's any players with expiring deals that you think Rangers could look at. I've been avoiding players, so I know a lot of people use transfer market to look at contracts. I've been avoiding any players that have a year option because the likelihood in most of those players is that the club's going to trigger it or the player themselves is just going to sign a new deal. So I've been avoiding those players and focusing solely on players that their contracts expiring and they haven't signed a new deal yet, and there will be a free agent come the end of their deal, whether it's 1st of July or the 30th of June. So again, if you've got any suggestions for leagues you want me to look at, positions you want me to look at, any more free agents, please leave them in the comments. The response to the last one was brilliant, so hoping for more of the same. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe and have a great day.